Almost everyone believes you need a sprawling backyard and endless sunshine to grow fruit trees. That belief is costing you hundreds of dollars a year in grocery bills, and it's keeping you from experiencing something remarkable. Because right now, in apartments and shaded backyards across the country, people are harvesting pounds of fresh figs, cherries, and even exotic pawpaws from containers no bigger than a storage bin. Some of these trees actually produce more fruit when their roots are confined. The science behind why this works contradicts everything traditional gardening taught us. And one simple technique, done once every few years, can boost your harvest by up to 50%. Most gardeners never learn it. Number 15. The dwarf fig tree. Let's start with a tree that proves container growing isn't just possible, it's actually superior. The dwarf fig tree thrives when its roots hit boundaries. In the ground, figs spread their energy into endless root growth. Lock them in a pot, and suddenly all that energy redirects into fruit production. Varieties like Little Miss Figgy and Celeste can pump out up to 150 figs in a single season from a container that fits on a balcony. Figs also tolerate partial shade better than most fruit trees. They need maybe 6 hours of sunlight, not the brutal all-day exposure citrus demands. Water them when the top 2 inches of soil dry out, feed them in spring and midsummer, and they'll produce 2 crops a year in warmer climates. The first crop ripens in early summer, the second arrives in the fall. Here's what gardening books won't tell you. Figs in containers often outlive and outproduce their in-ground cousins in difficult climates. The portability means you can move them indoors before frost, extending your growing season by months. That alone changes what's possible.
Number 14. Meyer lemon trees. The Meyer lemon shouldn't exist in small spaces, but it adapted. This hybrid between a true lemon and a mandarin orange grows naturally compact. Indoors or on a patio, it needs ample light, at least 6 hours, though it'll tolerate bright indirect light better than standard lemons. The fruit tastes sweeter, less acidic, and almost floral compared to grocery store varieties. But there's a catch most beginners miss. Indoors, Meyer lemons need your help pollinating. No bees means no fruit unless you play nature. Take a small brush and transfer pollen from flower to flower. 30 seconds of work per week during blooming season can mean the difference between a decorative plant and 20 to 50 lemons annually. The trees also demand consistent care. Let the soil dry slightly between waterings, but never let it go bone dry. Feed monthly during the growing season with fertilizer formulated for citrus. The investment pays back fast. Organic Meyer lemons run $4 to $6 per pound in stores. A healthy container tree produces 15 to 30 pounds per year once mature. That's $200 worth of fruit from something that fits beside your couch.
Number 13. Dwarf apple trees. Apples in pots sound impossible until you understand rootstocks. Standard apple trees grow 30 feet tall, far too large for containers. But graft that same variety onto an M27 rootstock, and the tree stays under 6 feet while producing full-sized apples. The rootstock controls the size, not the fruit. A containerized dwarf apple can yield 40 to 50 pounds annually, equivalent to $120 to $200 in organic apples. These trees need more attention than figs. They require cross-pollination, so you'll need 2 compatible varieties or a neighbor's tree within 50 feet. They also need winter chill hours, periods of cold that trigger proper fruiting. Check your variety's requirements against your climate zone before buying. The payoff comes 3 to 4 years after planting. Bite into an apple you grew yourself, picked at peak ripeness instead of harvested green and shipped across continents. The flavor difference isn't subtle, it's revelatory.
Number 12. Blueberry bushes. Blueberries break every rule about what qualifies as a tree, but their container performance demands inclusion. A mature blueberry bush in a pot can produce 6,000 berries per season. That's roughly 12 pints, worth $150 to $300 if you're buying organic. The plants need acidic soil, pH between 4.5 and 5.5, which actually makes containers easier than in-ground growing. You control the soil completely. Recent research shows blueberries improve cognitive function and slow age-related mental decline.
The anthocyanins responsible for their deep blue color cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in regions responsible for learning and memory. Eating a cup of fresh blueberries daily might be the best investment in your brain's future. Growing them requires patience. Bushes take 2 to 3 years to establish before heavy production begins, but once mature, they'll produce for 20 to 30 years. That's potentially $9,000 worth of berries from a single $40 plant. Number 11. Dwarf cherry trees. Cherries represent everything intimidating about fruit trees: tall, complicated, and expensive to buy fresh. Dwarf varieties like Stella and North Star shatter those assumptions. These trees stay 8 feet tall or less and produce 10 to 15 pounds of cherries annually. Fresh cherries cost $4 to $8 per pound, making each tree worth $40 to $120 in fruit per season. Stella is self-pollinating, critical for container growers who might only have space for one tree. Cherries need full sun and consistent moisture during fruit development. Let them dry out when the cherries are swelling, and you'll get hard, flavorless fruit. The trees also require winter chill, typically 600 to 800 hours below 45 degrees, depending on variety. But here's what makes them worth the effort. Fresh cherries taste nothing like the shipped versions in stores. Those are picked underripe for durability. Yours ripen fully on the branch, developing complex sweetness and acidity that grocery cherries never achieve. The difference is so dramatic, you'll question whether they're even the same species.
Number 10. Dwarf peach trees.
Peaches might be the most rewarding container fruit you'll ever grow. Dwarf varieties produce 10 to 20 pounds annually, and the flavor gap between homegrown and store-bought reaches its widest here. Commercial peaches are bred for shipping durability and shelf life, not taste. Varieties that taste incredible often have delicate skin that bruises easily. You'll never see them in stores. Container peaches need full sun and regular feeding. They're heavy feeders, demanding monthly fertilization during the growing season. Prune them annually to maintain shape and encourage fruiting wood, and watch for peach leaf curl, a fungal disease prevented with a single dormant season spray. The harvest window is short, sometimes just 2 weeks, when fruit ripens simultaneously. You'll be giving away peaches, making preserves, and still eating them fresh 3 times a day. That abundance from a tree you can move with a hand truck feels impossible until you experience it. Number 9. Alpine strawberries. Strawberries aren't trees, but their container productivity overrides technicalities. Alpine strawberries produce smaller fruit than standard varieties, but they produce continuously from spring through fall. A single container with 4 to 6 plants yields 12 to 24 pints per season. They also tolerate partial shade better than traditional June-bearing strawberries, making them perfect for spaces where other fruits struggle. The flavor is concentrated, almost wild, with notes you'll never find in grocery store berries. They're also day neutral, meaning they don't require specific day lengths to flower and fruit. Set them up, keep them watered, and they'll produce until frost kills them back. Cost per pint at farmers markets runs $6 to $8 for organic berries. Your container produces that every week for 6 months. The math makes container strawberries one of the fastest payback investments in edible gardening.
Number 8. Currant bushes. Currants grow in conditions that would kill most fruiting plants: partial shade, cool temperatures, and northern climates where summer barely arrives. These bushes need only 4 to 5 hours of sunlight and produce 8 to 10 pounds of tart berries, perfect for jams, syrups, and baking. They're self-pollinating, cold-hardy to -40 degrees, and nearly immune to the pests that plague other fruits. In parts of Europe, currant cultivation was restricted for decades because the plants can host a disease affecting white pines. That ban has lifted in most areas, but check local regulations before planting. Red, white, and black currants offer different flavors. Black currants contain more vitamin C than oranges and have a deep, almost musky complexity. White and red varieties taste brighter and more acidic. All of them thrive in containers with minimal intervention. The forgiveness these plants offer makes them perfect for beginners who want fruit without mastering advanced techniques. Number 7. Dwarf trees. Pears combine beauty, productivity, and surprisingly low water needs in container culture. Dwarf varieties grow 5 to 8 feet tall and produce 20 to 40 pounds of fruit in 20-gallon containers. They need less water than apples,
though they still want consistent moisture. Pears ripen off the tree, so you harvest them firm and let them soften indoors. This prevents the mushy, mealy texture that makes store-bought pears disappointing. Most pear varieties need a pollination partner, so plan for 2 trees or confirm you have compatible neighbors. The trees also require winter chill, though less than apples, usually 400 to 600 hours, depending on variety. What sets pears apart is their elegance. The trees have beautiful form, glossy leaves, and white spring blossoms that rival ornamental cherries. You get food and beauty in one package, making them perfect for front porches and visible spaces where aesthetics matter.
Number 6. Gooseberries. Gooseberries occupy a strange space in American fruit culture, common in Europe, nearly forgotten here. That's about to change. These bushes need only 4 to 5 hours of sunlight and produce 4 to 5 quarts of fruit per plant. They're cold-hardy, shade-tolerant, and handle neglect better than almost any fruiting plant. Gooseberries taste tart when green, sweet when fully ripe, and make exceptional pies, preserves, and wine. The plants have thorns, which deters some growers, but also keeps animals from stealing your harvest. Gloves make harvesting manageable. More importantly, gooseberries thrive in the cool, shaded conditions where conventional fruit wisdom says nothing will grow. If you have a north-facing balcony or a yard shaded by buildings, gooseberries might be your only option for fresh fruit. They turn limitations into advantages.
Number 5. Pawpaw trees. Now we enter truly unexpected territory. Pawpaws are North America's largest native fruit, tasting like a banana-mango hybrid with a custard texture. They prefer shade, especially when young, making them perfect for spaces where other fruits fail. Mature trees can yield 25 to 50 pounds of fruit. In container specimens produce less, typically 10 to 20 pounds. The catch is pollination. Pawpaws need genetic diversity. You must grow at least 2 unrelated varieties for fruit set. The flowers also smell like rotting meat to attract fly pollinators. Hand pollination works better in containers, using a small brush to transfer pollen between varieties. Pawpaws have a cult following in fruit enthusiasts because commercial cultivation is nearly impossible. The fruit bruises if you look at it wrong and lasts maybe 3 days after harvest. Growing your own is the only way to experience them. That rarity, combined with their shade tolerance, makes them the secret weapon of small-space gardeners willing to experiment. Number 4. Elderberry bushes. Elderberries bridge food and medicine in ways few fruits can match. These bushes need partial shade and produce 8 to 12 pounds of berries annually. The fruit isn't eaten raw, it can cause stomach upset, but cooked into syrup, it becomes a powerful immune system supporter. Research suggests elderberry syrup reduces cold and flu duration by several days. A quart of quality elderberry syrup costs $20 to $30. Your bush produces enough berries for 10 to 15 quarts per season. That's $300 in medicine from a plant that asks almost nothing in return. Elderberries also grow fast, producing fruit in year 2, unlike many trees that demand patience. The white spring flowers attract pollinators, improving yields on everything else you grow. And the plants tolerate wet soil better than most fruits, solving problems in low-lying areas with drainage issues.
Number 3. Dwarf mulberry trees. Mulberries offer something unique, a continuous harvest over 6 to 8 weeks. Dwarf varieties suitable for containers grow 6 to 8 feet tall and yield 5 to 10 pounds of berries per season. The fruit ripens gradually, providing you with fresh berries daily instead of overwhelming you with a sudden harvest. Mulberries are also one of the few fruits that tolerate significant shade, producing well with just 4 hours of direct sun. The berries stain everything they touch, which is why you'll rarely see them in stores. But that same delicate nature means intense flavor and perfect texture when eaten fresh. They don't ship, they don't store, they exist only for people growing their own. Container mulberries require minimal pruning and almost no pest management. Set them up, water consistently,
and collect berries all summer. The low-maintenance nature makes them ideal for people who want results without constant intervention. Number 2. Hardy kiwi vines. Kiwis in cold climates sound impossible, but hardy varieties thrive where regular kiwis would die. These vines tolerate temperatures to -25 degrees and produce 10 to 20 pounds of smooth-skinned, grape-sized fruit in containers. The flavor matches fuzzy kiwis from stores, but with higher sweetness and no need to peel. Hardy kiwis need male and female vines for pollination, unless you buy self-fertile varieties like Isai. The vines grow vigorously, requiring sturdy trellising even in containers. Give them something to climb, a fence, a pergola, even a decorative obelisk, and they'll cover it in broad leaves and sweet fruit. They also need consistent moisture and regular feeding to support that rapid growth. Year 3 or 4 brings the first significant harvest. After that, production increases annually for decades. You're not planting for next season. You're creating a permanent source of exotic fruit that most people never experience fresh. Number 1. Dwarf citrus trees. Citrus represents the perfect intersection of beauty, productivity, and ease of use in container growing. Dwarf varieties like key limes, calamandan oranges, and kumquats grow naturally compact and produce heavily in pots. They need 6 to 12 hours of bright light, but tolerate indoor growing better than almost any fruiting plant. The evergreen foliage and fragrant flowers make them ornamental even when not fruiting. Key limes produce 50 to 100 fruits annually in ideal conditions. Those tiny aromatic limes cost $8 to $12 per pound fresh. Your tree generates that every few months. Calamandans are even more productive, sometimes holding 200 fruits at once, though the flavor is quite tart and best for cooking or marmalade. Citrus needs consistent care, regular watering, monthly feeding, and occasional misting to prevent spider mites, but the returns justify the effort. Fresh citrus transforms cooking, cocktails, and daily life in ways dried-out grocery store specimens never could. The technique that changes everything. Here's what separates average container fruit growers from exceptional ones: root pruning. Every 2 to 3 years, remove your tree from its container, slice off the outer 2 inches of circling roots, and replant in fresh soil. This eliminates the root-bound condition that chokes productivity. The tree responds by generating fresh feeder roots, the ones that actually absorb nutrients and water efficiently. Timing matters. Root prune in late winter before spring growth begins. The tree channels its awakening energy into new root development instead of trying to support old, inefficient roots. Production increases by 50 to 30% in the following season. Most gardeners never root prune. They wonder why their once productive trees decline after 5 years. The roots circled, choked themselves, and lost the ability to support heavy fruiting. One afternoon of work every few years prevents this entirely. You don't need land, perfect sun, or decades of experience to grow fruit. You need the right plants, basic knowledge, and the willingness to challenge assumptions about what's possible in limited space. Somewhere right now, someone is harvesting fresh figs from their apartment balcony. Another person is making jam from currants grown by the shade beside their garage. They're not master gardeners. They're people who learned that constraints often reveal better methods than abundance ever could. The trees that thrive in pots and shade aren't settling for less. They're optimized for exactly the conditions most of us actually have. That optimization makes them more valuable, not less. Once you understand that, every small space becomes an opportunity instead of a limitation.